Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Stargate. This is season 1, episode number 11. This episode is called The Torment of Tantalus, I believe. So with the title of this one, I'm kind of thinking we're probably going to go to like another civilization heavily influenced by Greece. Greek myth, especially with this title. I'd be very shocked if we got an episode that was based on murder or cannibalism. If it's about Tantalus, that'd be strange. Hopefully there isn't like a stew presented to anybody at any point during this, because I wouldn't recommend eating it. Or we're going to end up seeing somebody punished for their sins and be stopped from eating or drinking like Tantalus was. So this is going to be an interesting one, this one. I do like it when we get these types of titles though. I like how you get a bit of an idea of what it's possibly going to be about. On the other hand, it could be a metaphor for Jack, because obviously with Tantalus, the whole situation with him was because of what happened, what he did to his son. And then we know Jack and his son, what happened there. It was completely different, but we know they both had sons that died under very different circumstances. So this is going to be an interesting one, I think. I'm going to get straight on into this. Let's go. I like that music.
Stop.
This is cool.
You know, we're supposed to be at that physical assessment thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you seem a tad obsessed with this stuff.
This was transferred from film of experiments done on the gate in 1945. You don't find that the least bit intriguing?
That's cool.
Nothing piques my interest more than repeated failure.
Look at them. They're turning the gate manually, for God's sake. It's incredible.
I love Jack.
How many hours of this stuff have you looked at?
There's no conclusion to the file. There's no summary, no notes, no reason to explain why they gave up.
Whole boxes of material could be missing.
No, the Pentagon said this was everything.
It's the Pentagon.
Please, the Pentagon's lost entire countries.
The gate's working.
That's impossible.
What is it?
Why would they stop their research if they'd actually managed to turn it on?
And send somebody through? What happened to that person? I like how they've got like an old diving helmet on.
Holy cow.
Miss Langford, there's a young man waiting for you in the kitchen.
Michael?
You had a strange young man in the house?
Yes.
Michael.
I'm sorry.
His
He
real
said he
name's
knows.
Michael, isn't it? Daniel.
My God.
Hello. I'm sorry. I hope you don't mind.
How long have you been back? Oh, my God, why are you back? Colonel O'Neill said you stayed on Abydos. Didn't anyone think I might be interested?
That's why I came.
Now, 6 months later, you could have told me sooner.
Yes.
He could have.
Just like you could have told me there were experiments done on the gate in 1945.
Oh, shit.
Military had very little use for a 21-year-old girl at that time. Neither did my father. I only know what little I overheard him and Ernest talking about.
Ernest?
I'm sorry, who's Ernest?
Is he the guy that went through?
Are you using alternating or direct current to charge it?
Alternating, I think. Why?
Try using direct.
See what
it
happens.
might prevent the charge from bouncing back to the generator.
So you didn't know the government had kept the files from the original experiments?
I had my father's notes. He told me that was everything they had. Do you know how many administrations I had to petition to get this program started up again? Never asked for any files because I thought I had them. General West never offered because he probably didn't know they existed.
So you don't know that they turned the gate on in 1945?
What?
They're not combinations. They're destinations. And we just found one.
A doorway to heaven can mean any number of different things. It could simply mean that anyone who passes through there will die.
Oh.
For example. Catherine, we have a maid for a reason.
I wanted to do it.
I never knew they turned it on.
Oh, man.
My father never told me.
Does she think that
Wasn't
this
in his
guy
notes,
maybe
huh?
just left her rather than him going through
Then
the
there's
gate?
something more you should see.
Oh, God, he stuck it out. Gee whiz.
Here, watch this.
There was an accident today. An explosion in the lab.
Ernest?
I'm so sorry.
Oh, shit, he totally lied to her. I can understand why he lied, but he lied.
So the man who went through the gate is Ernest.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wasn't supposed to show you this. Actually, I wasn't supposed to show you any of this, but now... Computer enhancements from the film footage. I was able to isolate the chevrons that were locked in before Ernest went through.
So we know where he went?
Not Abydos?
No, another planet with similar coordinates. And we can go there.
Yeah.
Are you aware of the request Dr. Jackson has most currently tabled?
You gotta go that one step further, don't you?
The man who went through the gate in 1945 was Catherine's fiancé. I have the address of the planet he went to, and we can go there.
See if he's still alive.
And I'm coming with you.
Ernest Littlefield could still be alive.
Mm-hmm.
And we should try to find him.
Doesn't sound stable at all, though.
Anybody see a way in or out of this place?
There appears to be only two doorways.
One's the Stargate.
Oh my.
Why is he naked?
Oh, for crying out loud. Dr. Littlefield? Ernest?
Hello, I'm Daniel Jackson. We just came through the Stargate.
Oh.
Real.
It's about time.
You don't recognize me.
Oh.
Catherine?
Why is he pissed?
50 years. That's all he has to say.
Last day.
It's a calendar, isn't it?
Wonder how different a year is to Earth, yeah.
Have you been able to figure out who built this place or who used to live here?
Heliopolis.
Heliopolis.
Repository, philosophy, astronomy.
I assume you mean the ancient Egyptian city. People would come from everywhere to gather there, scholars, community leaders. It was also the central place of worship for Ra. Are there ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs here? Symbols that indicate Ra? This could be very important.
Oh, shit.
My God.
What the hell?
Shit.
I thought the probe was supposed to detect stuff like this.
We got visual confirmation of its presence, but the damage was obviously concealed.
Oh, man.
It's not working.
It was like that when I got here.
That's why you never came back.
He couldn't.
Does this mean we're not going home? Well, since we're going to be here a while, I'd like you to see something. What? Come on.
Writings?
Safest room there is.
Hey, Baba.
You know, especially in a storm.
Give me a hand. Thanks.
Keep at it. We'll be back.
Oh!
What is this place?
I believe this room is some sort of meeting place where 4 alien races, denoted by the symbols and distinctive writing on the walls,
would meet,
gather, possibly to share knowledge or discuss relations like a United Nations of the Stars. Wow.
It's like the dome thing we had made once.
Daniel, does this mean anything?
Well, if this was a mecca of sorts, an alien United Nations,
A
this
mecca.
has to mean something.
Oh.
Of course! How do you ensure universal communication? You reduce the method of communication to the most basic elements common to everyone and everything that exists in the universe. Jack, this is a true universal language.
Turn the page.
Are you saying that this
Is a book?
This is like a book?
Elaboration of the knowledge of these 4 alien species.
Mm-hmm.
None of which will mean squat if we don't get out of here.
If we could channel a lightning strike into the gate, it might provide us with enough power to dial in and make it through.
Oh!
How do we attract lightning to strike the gate?
Not directly. We'll have to rig something up on the roof and hope that the sudden and enormous charge doesn't destroy the gate's mechanisms.
I hope this works. It's got to, really, because this episode's nearly finished.
We may only have seconds once the gate is open.
What you did was courageous.
What I did was stupid.
Bloody hell, Daniel.
Come on, boys,
move.
we gotta go now.
I'm staying.
Maybe it's something that you're not meant to know yet. Oh, she's straight in. Go.
Wormhole is destabilizing.
Shit.
Still no travelers.
Come on, guys.
That was like the closest call we've had so far. Yeah.
You think?
You don't know how close.
This was like an interesting one. I love that there was this place that had very similar chevrons to Abydos, but was different. And we got to see how in 1945 there were experiments on the Stargate to try and see if they could use it as a weapon. That was like an interesting thing to see, and seeing this guy go through and end up in this place and was just left there on his own for like 50 years because it obviously wasn't a place where people lived. It was more of a gathering point for these four civilizations, one of which being the civilization of the Thor that we met in the last episode. So that was an interesting thing to see. I liked it quite a lot. Seeing this guy just having to be there on his own this entire time, it does make me wonder where he got like his food and his water from. And he wrote down in his little book that, you know, he did go on walks and things. So there was clearly like a way and a means for him to survive whilst he was there. The only downside was he was by himself for 50 years. And I genuinely thought we'd have kind of more of a connection to the myth of Tantalus than we did, knowing that, you know, the whole concept was there was this book that Daniel became obsessed with, and that was the unobtainable. And Tantalus's unobtainable wasn't just, you know, not being able to reach the water, but he wasn't able to reach the food above him in the trees. So it was a nice metaphor to be able to use that. Whereas, you know, it could have being something a lot darker, like the whole reason why Tantalus ended up in that situation in the first place. It could have been centered around something like that. So this guy being on this planet was basically his Hades, I suppose, because he was just trapped there and he couldn't get out. So I liked that quite a lot. It was nice to see Catherine go on this journey with them, and how protective they were of her as well, which I thought was quite sweet. And knowing that, you know, there's all this information, extra information we've got now because of Ernest, but maybe like the part that Daniel wasn't able to obtain is because it wasn't the right time for him to obtain it, and it wasn't something that he needed to know about at that point in time. And knowing now that that world has gone because it's clearly fallen into the sea is kind of one of those things, isn't it? It's again, it's that unobtainable aspect of things. But I'm looking forward to seeing what the next episode's like, because I don't know, every time I watch one of these, every episode, it feels like the guys are getting a lot closer and there's like more of a bond and they're getting on better with each episode. And I've said it many times before, but the camaraderie between all of these people is probably my favourite thing about this. It works so well, and they cast this incredibly well, and it's a joy to watch it. Actually, I'm going to sign off and say thank you, and I will see you guys later, so thank you.